What's up, y'all? So, how you guys doing? How you guys doing, first of all? I know I made a bunch of videos. You might have seen a couple. You might not have seen any. You might not even know who I am. You might just think I'm some random guy. I might be a random guy. I am a random guy. But anyway, I got some things to say. So, I do a lot more videos that are very structured and very, trying to hit on certain topics. Right now, I'm gonna do like an overview of like everything that I can think of, at least that I got the time to put on video that is really wrong with the economy. And hopefully my video don't cut out. I don't know how much room I got on my hard drive here, but I'm gonna just try to hit on a bunch of points that really matter. And before I even begin, I'm gonna tell you how much of a challenge it is to do this. There's a lot of academic folks that are. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about because it makes sense and it's functional. You know what I mean? Like, I was learning about investing. I was learning about first these cryptocurrencies were coming out and they were hitting off big. I'm like, dude, let me get in on that. But then I was like, dang, I don't know anything about investing, so let me learn something. So I started studying everybody's shit on the internet, but I still like I don't understand this shit. So I took the time out and sat and thought about it like hardcore, and a lot of understanding came about like that. But the shit I say makes sense and it's functional. And believe it or not, after I sat down and came to understand a lot of stuff, I started seeing some stuff on the internet. I started seeing people that are like on the same track of what I already came to understand, but they're not there yet. They might like. I think a lot of people might understand things intuitively, but they're hard to explain sometimes. And I figured out kind of how to explain them even. And so I'm just gonna try to hit on some major key points that I think are relevant to your life, to our lives, living in this world, working in this economy. It's some relevant stuff. And sometimes when I just kind of freestyle, shit just pops off a little bit better. Sometimes some of my greatest work comes off the top of the dome, and I feel like just inspired. I feel inspired. You know why I feel inspired? Because I was going on Reddit and posting some videos that I made, and even just writing some simple stuff, and it makes total good sense. But everybody wants to be like, "Hey, man, that's not in the textbook. That's not in the da 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 da. That's not in the. I ain't heard that in college. Where you hearing that? Where's your PhD? Where's your da da da? Bitch, I don't need a PhD, dude. I don't give a fuck about no PhD. I'm telling you the truth. I don't give a fuck." Because I understand what the fuck I'm talking about. It makes perfect fucking sense. If y'all want to deny what I'm saying right now, y'all gonna be the dummies who are gonna be like, oh yeah, well, I was just wrong. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn what the fuck I'm saying makes sense, dude. And am I saying I'm impeccable? No. I'm gonna say what I'm saying makes fucking sense. Y'all can double, triple, 100 times check me. As long as we, I'm really just trying to get a conversation going at least, but at the same time, I'm pretty damn sure what I'm saying is correct. So y'all can triple 100 times, million check me. You know what I'm saying? I know that don't instill too much confidence, but guess what? Other motherfuckers are gonna lie to you. They'll be like, yeah, man, this is what it is. No, you find out they're wrong like 20 days later. You're like, what the fuck, Your scientists do it all the time. Scientists are like, hey, man, did you know that da-da-da, da-da-da? And you're like, yo, yeah, really? He's like, yeah, man, we know this. Next fucking week, new scientific discovery. Oh, fucking Milky Way galaxy is twice as fucking big as we thought, It fucking happens all the time. These motherfuckers will lie to you all day. I'm gonna tell you, I'm like 90% sure that I'm fucking right, okay? That's real. That's real. I'm not trying to give you no false fucking shit, because I'm aware that I could be wrong on some shit. And that ain't and look, if someone wants to tell me I'm wrong, prove it. You see what I'm saying? So let's just begin on this shit. What are some fundamental things I think are wrong with the economy? First thing is fractional reserve banking. And I'll just try to give you a quick synopsis of the history of fractional reserve banking. So we used to use gold as money. Gold was the first fucking money people used to use. And that kind of came about, from what I understand, it came about because the pharaohs in Egypt, wore it. And, they kind of gave it value culturally. And because it had value culturally, people agreed it had value. So instead of doing bartering, like, hey, I'm going to trade you this fucking sword for your fucking rice or something, people could then kind of trade what they have for gold and then go to like anybody else in the economy and trade that gold for what they had. And it just became more useful because like if you had a sword and trying to get some rice, maybe the dude with rice didn't want your fucking sword. So you had to go find something that you like, okay, what do you want? You're like, I want some fucking cheesecake. You're like, okay, so you go to the guy with cheesecake. He don't want a sword neither, so you go with this big ass rigmarole. Eventually, you get something that this motherfucker with rice wants, and you come back. But you know, the gold having value, that just became like the simple 1-2 step. You know, trade what you have for gold. Found the guy who actually wanted a fucking sword who had gold, and you know, then you trade that gold for anything. You know what I mean? Because everybody wanted gold, and that was the first money. Fractional reserve banking came around. It was a little fucking scam. People brought their gold to the banks. The bank said, we're going to hold on to it and we're going to pay you fucking interest if you let us hold on to it. And they're like, okay. So they gave them a little receipt, little piece of paper. They said, you can bring this back and redeem it for gold at any time. And then they took that gold and they lended it out to people for a little bit of a higher interest rate than they're going to pay the person. So they could pay that person the interest rate and then take a little cut. And that was their original business model. And but the thing is, when people were given these receipts, you know, and the bank and the gold was in the bank, people just started trading with the receipts as if that was money itself. And that's where the whole problem came about. And then the bank saw this, so instead of giving out physical gold, they started just literally printing more receipts that said they were worth gold. And then what you had was a whole shitload of receipts with only a certain amount of gold. And basically you had money counterfeiting because people started using that paper as gold and they just started fucking printing the fuck out of this paper. And that's basically counterfeiting. Hopefully this dude don't come fuck with me. I don't know who that is. I hear keys. I hijacked this room to fucking make this video. But anyways, that's the first fuck up in the economy right there. It's fractional reserve banking, and that's how it started really. And a lot of economists, they want to fucking try to confuse you and be like, oh yeah, fractional reserve banking, no man, like you can't fucking, if you didn't have fractional reserve banking, you couldn't lend any money. Yeah, you fucking can, dude. If you're gonna lend a bank money, you know, there's these things, I don't even know what they're called, but you fucking say, hey, you can hold on to this money, I'm not gonna come get it for a while, and then they can be safe to loan it out to anybody they fucking want. Or if you just have money, you can fucking loan it out to somebody you want. People, a lot of economists want to say, hey, it's all good that these motherfuckers are just literally printing money, creating it out of fucking just printing that shit and loaning it out to people. I think that's all good. That is what has caused so many fucking problems in the world. And these economists want to act like it's all good. They're like, oh, if we didn't do that, there would be no money. Well, yeah, there would be if we did not fucking get rid of all the money that wasn't this fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, I'll go on Reddit and try to type some shit up, and these motherfuckers are stupid. They're stupid, they're stupid, they're stupid. I promise you they're stupid. I'm not even a dickhead. I'm not saying that like I'm just like trying to like, no, I was trying to be nice about it and fucking say it all nice and shit. Dude, they're fucking dumb. And it's just so obvious. So right now the whole monetary system is basically these banknotes that have been created. They took away the gold standard. They took away gold being used as money. Gold's still there. It could be used as money, you know. A lot of things can be used as money, to be honest. But we're using these banknotes. And the Federal Reserve is a privately owned bank, and they're printing money based on the whole fractional reserve banking, you know, lending scheme, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And those banknotes, the fractional reserve notes, they're banknotes, and they're created in the exact same way. And basically, the entire money supply at this point is just are loans, you know. So, you know, it's just money that's printed that's supposed to be paid back. So that's why there's a cumulative debt on the planet that exceeds. You know, there should be no. I mean, okay, how should I say that? You know, it's perpetual debt. We can look at the funding mechanism of the government. The government issues treasury bonds, it sells them to the public, and the public gives them money, but it's some of that money that's already borrowed from somewhere, okay? And, you know, shit, it's gonna get complicated. Like I said, a lot of people probably understand this shit intuitively, but they don't know how to explain it. It's perpetual debt. And that's how we even have a monetary system that's all loans, because let's just explain this. I don't even feel like drawing. If somebody gets a loan, okay, They borrow that money, the primary of that loan, whatever. Let's say they borrow $100, and then they're charged interest. Let's say they 10% interest. That's just a random number. So they owe 110 after the year. Okay. How are they gonna pay back the 110? How are they gonna pay back the extra 10 if all of the money is debt? They would have to borrow more money to get that 10. So if somebody else borrows money and they somehow make a profit to get the extra 10, then somebody's going to be short because that person that borrowed the money that came from was also charged interest. So there's this perpetual interest that's building, and there's a perpetual debt because of that. And that's what it is. You know, for the next guy to pay a debt, he has to, if he borrows money, spends it on something, he has to get a profit back, he has to get that back, the primary, and then some interest. But the only place that interest is going to come from is somebody else's loan, the money coming in from somebody else's loan. So it's a perpetual fucking debt. And that in itself is just obviously fucking wrong. And I'm telling you, I was on Reddit, dude. Those people, they riled me up. And they're so stupid. It's like, how do y'all just think that's okay? How do y'all think that's normal? Like, people are trying to justify that. That's fucking retarded. You know, gold. How would gold work? There's no debt with gold. Gold's just a thing. It's a thing that people use as money. And so, I'll explain money real quick. This is something I will draw. Okay, so you got money. This is G's. I don't know what that's for. Greenback. And you have goods and services. Okay? People trade what they have for gold because they're going to trade it to somebody else for what they have. Okay? So this gold or greenback, whatever it is, it has value because people are willing to trade their stuff for it, which means that you're willing to trade your stuff for it because you're going to be able to trade it to somebody else for their shit. So what's really going on is there's a group of people that use something as money, okay? There's this group of people that have something to offer that are willing to trade it for gold. And thus, there's a little economy built around anything that people use as money. That's as simple as money gets, dude. And if somebody wants to borrow some fucking money, find somebody with some fucking money to borrow that shit. It's that fucking simple. There's no justification for some random banks just printing the fuck out of money. You know what that does? If we want to, first you gotta understand how money gets its value, okay? It's what I call a relative value. There's a certain amount of money, a certain amount of gold, greenbacks, whatever, and a certain amount of people offering stuff for it. So, you know, I said this before, but all that exists in the economy is trading. There's nothing else in the economy but trading. So even if there was no money, you know, if somebody has a sword and they want to trade it for some fucking rice, you know, they trade one sword for 20 pounds of rice. Right there, you create a relative value between one sword and 20 pounds of rice. One sword is worth about 20 pounds of rice. The same thing happens with gold. When you trade gold for one sword, 20 grams of gold for a sword. Okay, I know I just changed it from greenbacks to gold, but whatever. 20 grams of gold for a sword. You just created a relative value of that money to the sword. You know, 20 pounds of rice is worth one sword. 20 grams of gold is worth one sword. Now you might say that that 20 grams of gold is probably worth about 20 pounds of rice, since you just figured out that they're both worth about one sword. But, you know, you might be able to go get 20 pounds of rice for some less amount of gold. And it just depends on the people who have either one and what they demand from each other. And, you know, usually the money, if there's a group of people that are using something as money, the money's used as the measuring stick because everything's being traded for money. So 20 grams of gold for a sword, 10 grams of gold for 20 pounds of rice, you know what I mean? You would say that, okay, this sword is worth is worth 40 pounds of rice or something like that, right? That's correct math. But then you might be able to find a deal where you could trade your sword for, or somebody with rice might be able to find a deal where they could trade 20 pounds of rice for a sword. And it's just relative values, people making deals. And that's really where the money gets its value. It's whatever people are willing to trade for that money. You know, prices, they're just deals that are being made. If you go to a supermarket, there's a price on the thing. You can say, I'm either going to buy it or I'm not. If you don't buy it, you just declined an offer. They're making an offer. You can accept it or you don't have to. And later on, they might drop the price if nobody's buying it. It's the same thing. If you go to the stock market, if you want to buy a stock, You know, people are making offers and deals all day, and you see it charted all freaking day. It's a changing relative value. It's just deals being made all day. That's you could say that's the stock value changing, or you could say that's the relative value of money to that stock changing. But it's just deals being made all day. That's where money gets its value. Money has a relative value to any good or service. Okay, that's just what it is. And the same way, you have this group of people. You have a different type of money that people are also trading their shit for. And the same way, it could have a relative value to any given good or service. And then these could even have a relative value to each other. It's just trading and deals. That's all there is. That's as simple as the economy gets, dude. If you want to argue that, go ahead. I mean, please prove me wrong if you really think you can. I mean, for real. If somebody has something to add to that, I mean, I'm trying to simplify it. Of course, there's complex, dumb shit that's all up in here and whatever, but that's really as simple as you need to understand it. Economics, it's trading. That's all there is. And money, inflation is just, you know, if there more money comes in, there's going to be a lot more money being offered for goods and services. So there's going to be more money offered per item. So the sword, there might be a lot of people that want a sword, a lot of money competing for it. Eventually, the price of that sword will go up. It's that simple. A higher, a deal with a lot more money for that sword will be made. That's just how it works. That's supply and demand, simple shit. And so this. Kind of what I'm talking about, and I was talking about inflation with fractional reserve banking. So fractional reserve banking, money's just created, so it's going to add to this pool of money right here, and it's going to add to the amount of money competing for these goods and services, and eventually there's going to be a lot more money per good or service being offered, and the prices are going to go up. There's going to be deals being made with a lot more money per good or service. And the way that comes in, it really depends on where people first spend that money. They're going to borrow money, they're going to pay for college tuition, they're going to pay for a house, and then it trickles down into the economy. But generally speaking, it's just more money coming in, more money being offered per good or service, which bids up prices. And that's really how it works. And so that fucks up the natural rhythm of things, because if there's a fixed amount of gold or greenbacks or whatever, you know, it's not going to fluctuate too much. You know, the only thing that's going to change, the relative values are the real demand for it. People don't want this thing anymore, or a change in the supply. Or let's say there is a fixed amount, you know, I just said the real demand for it, but you know, there's other, you know, people just decide not to spend their money, and that would affect it too. But that's a real demand for it. So if you just have people borrowing money, the money just being printed, people borrowing it and bringing it to the economy and, you know, offering it for stuff, it's going to bid up prices, and then you get this crazy inflation, and that's not natural. It's very not natural, and that's when, you know, it's a trickle down thing. Let's say somebody buys college tuition or a house, and then that person takes that money and spends it in some other part of the economy, and eventually higher prices everywhere, and the guys way at the bottom, you know, they're kind of competing with those guys where all the money's coming in. It's like, dude, they can barely afford the cost of living. And so that's fucked up right there. But then there's also the reversal of that. Since all the money's debt, money gets paid back, there's the deflation, but the prices are already bid up so high, you know, people, you know, let's say you're trying to run a business, you know, but the prices of all the stuff you need to run a business, you know, is really high. But the money's deflating, less money in the economy, less money coming into your business, so you can't even afford what you need to keep the business running. Your business is going to crash. And that's what happens. Deflation will crash the entire economy. They call that the business cycle. That is not a normal thing. That is man-made from fractional reserve banking. That's what it is, dude. And all these dudes want to act like fractional reserve bank is all good. They want to act like there's no way to fucking borrow money other than fucking through creating it. Dude, somebody has money, you borrow money. Do I ask somebody to borrow a cup of sugar if they ain't got it? No, they have to have it for me to borrow it. You got to borrow money, find somebody who has it, you know what I mean? Instead of just having these banks just print it. I mean, the whole thing is a big-ass scam, dude. And everybody wants to act like it's all good. It's not all good. I don't care what nobody says. It's not all good. They want to pretend, they want to defend the system or whatever you want to call it while it's fucking everybody over. And like I said, when the money deflates, it crashes the economy. You know what that does for the human progress, for technology, for businesses that are trying to create new technology and bring that shit to the market? It fucks it up. That's why we're still burning coal to generate electricity. You think I'm fucking playing? That's real fucking shit. And all these people want to defend that shit. Y'all are fucking retarded, man. I ain't got shit else to say about that one. So that's the fundamental problem right there. Fractional reserve banking created money and fucking up dysfunction, inflation, deflation, business cycle, crashing the economy, all types of shit. It causes the prices of everything to go high. Another thing that happens when the economy crashes, you know, these people who have the access to money, they'll buy everything at a very low price, you know, and when they do, you know, they've just fucking consolidated like all the fucking wealth in the fucking economy. Like they'll fucking buy industries, whatever, and once the economy crashes and the prices go way down to nothing, and they're gonna go to the bank. Hey, bank, print me out some money. I want to buy this fucking thing. Okay, they're like, sure. Next thing you know, they fuck with some shit again. The fucking interest rates go down. More money comes in. The economy starts running decently, or whatever. It just fucking readjusts to the less amount of money, and these motherfuckers have just already bought everything, and they own everything, and now you're working for the company that they fucking bought on credit, and you know I mean, that's how it works, dude. It's a big ass fucking scam. I don't think y'all can't see that, then y'all tripping, dude. I'm telling you, they're gonna wait till this shit crashes and buy up fucking everything. They ain't gonna be working for their company. They're gonna be in debt. They're gonna be paying back a debt, and everyone will say, "Oh, that's fair." Is it when the bank is creating money and handing it to some random dude? Is the bank creating money fair? Is fractional reserve is a bank just fucking printing up money fair? No, it's a fucking scam, dude. It's a fucking scam. I don't care what nobody says. Unless that money's coming out of their best friend's pocket on some real ass fucking earned profit, you know, then it's a fucking scam. There's no way a bank should just be able to bloop, 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 here's some fucking money. And they want to say, oh, he puts up collateral. It's like, dude, okay, so why is he still living in this house that he put up for collateral if he also has his money on top? You know what I'm saying? That's not normal. That's not normal. And, yeah, so they'll wait till that shit crashes and buy up everything. And, yeah, they might be in debt for a little while, but they got you working for their company. They're going to pay back that debt eventually. Same thing happens with real estate. People will buy real estate on a mortgage and then rent that bitch out to somebody, and that somebody is fucking working their ass off, paying fucking rent, which is paying the mortgage, and buying that fucking house for somebody. That's how economics works. If you don't understand this shit, it's a fucking scam. The mortgage is like the fucking same thing as, you know, let's say the economy crashes and, you know, these people buy up industry and stuff. It's a very similar thing. And but the thing about the thing about the there's a cleaning lady, she's cool. Be good. No, the thing about that is the prices of houses are bid up by this money that's borrowed that you know, that's being offered for houses. Or the same thing with industry. Maybe people are trying to start a business, or, you know, real estate's a good example because everybody's pretty much trying to get their hands on some real estate to live in it or build a business or whatever. So yeah, motherfuckers are gonna borrow money, and that's just gonna bid up the prices, and, you know, so the price is gonna be super fucking high. So it's basically like everybody has to borrow money just to be able to afford a fucking house or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a fucked ass system. That's what I'm saying. It's a trickle down inflation. The people at the bottom can't afford it. They're eventually gonna be forced to borrow money. It's a perpetual thing. So these people borrow money. These people can't compete with their regular profits, so they gotta borrow money. They just add into the fucking bidding up of the price, and then you get bubbles. Oh no, bubbles. Do bubbles suck. And you can see that in all types of fucking industry, dude. And it's stupid. It's all caused by a fucking banks creating fucking money, fractional reserve banking. If there was not this money that was just being created, all these fucking bubbles would not exist. All this printing up of money would not fucking happen. It's so fucking simple. If you want to borrow some fucking money, find it from a person who fucking earned that shit like a fucking decent human being. You know what I mean? You know, man, you gotta understand this shit. And same with college. College is expensive, dude. Why do you think it's expensive? Because motherfuckers can go straight to a bank and say, honey, I need to borrow some fucking money. Let me borrow some money, and I'm gonna go pay for some college. Now the fucking price of college is like $200,000 for a 4-year fucking degree. What? That's because motherfuckers are borrowing money and bidding up the price. That's exactly what's happening. The same thing with government. The government will borrow money and bid up the price of everything. The government will borrow money, hand it to you as a fucking Pell Grant, or hand it to you as welfare checks for fucking food or fucking Medicare. I'm not saying, okay, there's a lot more to that. I'll get into that in a second, but they'll borrow money, hand you that fucking money, and then you're gonna take that money and bid up prices just the same. And then the average Joe, he can't compete with all that fucking fresh money coming in. It's money being created, fucking up the whole system. That's that fucking simple. And as far as the government borrows a shitload of fucking money, and it spends it on a lot of fucking dumb shit. So it's gonna spend it on a fucking war or some dumb shit or some secret fucking service agency and CIA to spy on us. Okay, you might as well spend it on some fucking welfare for some people or some fucking Medicare or some shit like that. You know, if you're gonna spend on some dumb shit, you know, that's whatever. So let's talk about the government a little bit. So the government is gonna borrow a shitload of money. It's like $20 trillion in debt in the United States. 20 trillion, 21, something like that. That's a lot of fucking money. That's 21 million. That's a fucking huge amount of money. Okay, so the government is gonna borrow that money, spend it on a bunch of dumb shit, and it's gonna be in debt, and then it's gonna try to fucking, you know, foot that bill over to you, say, hey, you gotta pay us some money out of your fucking taxes, and what? You just spent that money on some dumb shit. So that's retarded, but even more retarded, it's gonna borrow that money, spend it on dumb shit, and then what does that really mean? That means it's borrowing money, trading it for people's labor and resource for some dumb shit. They're like, hey, we're gonna hire you, soldier. Hey, company, we're gonna hire you to build us fucking tanks and shit. We're gonna send you, soldier, overseas to blow up some people because we're fucking pieces of shit and all types of shit. They're buying up people's labor and resource with just by borrowing fucking money. Again, money creation is the fucking problem. And anybody who's trying to fucking defend fractional reserve banking fucking bullshit is a fucking retard. You want to say, oh, if there would be no money created, how could people borrow money? Find somebody who has the fucking money. If you want to borrow some fucking sugar, do you go to fucking Mary Poppins and say, please conjure me up a fucking cup of sugar? No, you don't. You find somebody who has the fucking sugar, dude. The same thing. You want some fucking money, find somebody who has that shit. And you got to understand the nature of money because, man, money at the end of the day is nothing, dude. It's a fucking gold is a rock, dude. At the end of the day, I mean, the only thing, people are doing all the work. People are doing all the work. People are creating all the services. If we just say, fuck it, let's just do bartering again, then these motherfuckers who are just fucking coming up with all this fucking paper wouldn't mean shit. You know what I mean? It wouldn't mean shit. But because we do trade our shit for paper, you know, they fucking printed out the fucking wazoo and bought up all this fucking real estate and all this other fucking industry and shit, man. So now all the wealth's consolidated. They own everything. So if we want a fucking job, too bad. They own everything. Now we gotta work for them. Now we're fucking slaves, dude. I mean, you think I'm fucking playing, dude? So, fractional reserve bank is the beginning of all the fuckery. And then the government borrowing a bunch of money, spending on dumb shit. That's like round 2 of the fuckery. And even enabling, you know, making it legal for these banks to do fractional reserve banking. That's part of it. And it's a fucked ass system, dude. And, you know, at the end of the day, once, you know, if everybody's coming here with this new money, people can't even afford the cost of living, that's going to cause people to, like, do some corrupt shit. They're like, man, what do I got to do to survive? Let me be a soldier. I'll go fucking kill some people. Let me go fucking kill a little girl and fucking tear her organs out of her body and sell them on the black market. You think I'm fucking playing? You think I'm playing about this shit? No, that's really what the fuck's going on. People are in desperate situations because all the fucking money coming in makes the fucking cost of living so fucking high, they resort to doing fuck that shit. Not only are they slaves, they're willing to do some fuck that shit. It's fucked. And so anybody that wants to defend some fractional reserve banking, I think you should think fucking twice about that shit. And, you know, the government, man, that printing money and borrowing that shit, that's crazy, dude. You know, shit that, look, I'm telling you, they're borrowing money and they're trading it for human resource and other resources, dude. When all that resource could be going to fucking planting crops and feeding the fucking hungry and shit like that, you know? We'd be building schools and, you know, all these fucking people who are being soldiers and shooting people up, they could be teachers and shit, you know what I mean? They're wasting resource on dumb shit. It could be put towards good shit. And I'm telling you, it's all because of the fuckery that's allowed by money being created, allowed by government just issuing some fucking treasury bonds and fucking borrowing the fuck out of some money. It's the same shit. If there was not money being created through fractional reserve banking, then there would not be a bunch of money to buy those fucking treasury bonds from the government. I mean, so it really starts with the fucking money being created. It's a big ass fucking scam, dude. Anybody who wants to, just, ooh, you idiots. Oh, you can't fucking borrow money. How you gonna borrow money if you don't have the fractional reserve banking and you're not just creating money? How you gonna borrow money, you fucking moron? You fucking borrow it from somebody who has it, you fucking bitch. But here's the thing, the situation. I'm sorry. Look, the situation is already so fucked up that it's hard for people to even live. So I mean, the wealth has already been consolidated. These people have already printed off a shitload of money, and people have traded their fucking real estate, their fucking businesses, their industry for it, and it's already consolidated. So I mean, even if we went back to a regular ass fucking monetary system, everything's already bought up. It's already owned by these motherfuckers who scammed their way into it by borrowing all this fucking money that was just created out of fucking nowhere. It's already a fucked ass system, dude. I don't know what to do about it. I kind of got a couple ideas, but I mean, what the fuck? This shit sucks. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is, dude. So that's the basis of it. That's like enough to hopefully piss some people off and be like, what the fuck? We're getting ripped off, man, because that's what the fuck's going on. And like I said, I got a couple ideas. I already made videos about those. I ain't trying to explain that shit right now. But that's the basis of it, man. You should get it. And check out the other videos. I got solutions out the wazoo a little bit. You know, I got ideas. I'm not saying they're the best ideas. I'm not saying you can't come up with your own ideas, man. But you know, this shit, I mean, we gotta do something. So that is what it is, man. And a lot of people just they don't know what the fuck's going on. You got all these economists, oh man, how we gonna borrow money if there's no fractional reserve banking? Dig. Okay, well, who gives a fuck? Shut up. Like, you're gonna borrow money, you need to borrow money, borrow from somebody that fucking has it. You know what I mean? It's that fucking simple, dude. And there's a lot of laws that kind of fuck up shit too. People are like, oh, you can't do like crowdfunding past a certain level, and you can't do this and that. Man, fuck those laws, man. What the fuck? I mean, there's a lot of laws. Look, this shit, fractional reserve banking is causing a shitload of problems, and they're trying to create laws to kind of like counterbalance some shit. It's like, dude, get rid of fractional reserve banking. All that shit will settle itself out. But like I said, all the wealth's already been consolidated. So I was like, okay, well, we're kind of fucked on that point, aren't we? Yeah, dude. Certain people know how to game this shit. I'm telling you, these people who wait till the economy crashes, borrow a shitload of money, get their hands, have access to money, and buy up everything there. But they know how to game the system, dude. That's how Warren Buffett tells you. He tells you. That's how you invest. You wait till everything crashes and buy it all up. That's what he tells you. That's how the fuck you do it, dude. And that's how they do it. And they've already done it. And it's already at the point where they own like every industry. It's already corporatized and wealth's consolidated in a few hands. And if you want a job, you got to work for them. You know what I mean? You're basically a slave. You're afraid you're going to miss work and you're going to get fired. And you got no fucking income because you can't compete with them. You can't start a business and compete with them. You're fucked. So that's the world we live in. And like I said, I got a few ideas, man. So you can check those out. I'm tired of these stupid ass people on Reddit fucking blah, 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 blah. I have a degree. I read a book and here's what it said. It don't make sense and you know, but then I read the book and it sounds official and shut the fuck up, man. I swear I ain't got time for these people, dude. I don't care. This is enough to explain it. If y'all don't comprehend this, please, or if there's something wrong with this explanation, please fucking explain in the comments of this fucking video. Because I ain't got time to fucking, you know, y'all can argue with each other, man. Look, they're locking me out right now. That's enough, man. We out. I'm telling you, man, these economists are proud. They're like, yeah, man, I learned this in my fucking school, in my college, man, and and I read this in a book. I have a master's degree in this. They don't want to admit if they're wrong. They don't want to admit that, even though this shit's fucking obvious as fuck, they don't want to admit they're wrong because they're stupid, proud fucking morons. It's like, dude, okay, you're gonna fucking, and then the rest of the people, they don't even comprehend. So this is why I'm trying to reach out to the average fucking Joe, make it understandable. Fuck all those fucking economists that want to fucking, oh, I know better than you because I got a fucking master's degree. I spent $200,000 on a college fucking degree because of fucking, it's not because of this, it's because of some other market function that I have no idea, you know. I'm telling you, these economists, they just fucking, they don't even know what the fuck they're doing, dude. But anyway, that's enough for now. Thank you guys for listening. That's good for now, so, yeah. I don't know how to turn your fucking lights back on. I thought there was like a motion sensor. But I guess not. Anyway, yeah, that's that. So, thank you for listening. Like I said, I got solutions. Watch the videos, man.